What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the New Era Prep Show here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. I'm your host, Christian Prosha. I hope everybody is enjoying the beginning of their Thanksgiving break. For all local high schools, today marks first day of Thanksgiving break. Unfortunately, I have class tomorrow for some godforsaken reason. Um, with that being said, am I showing up to class tomorrow? Not a chance in the world. I'm enjoying my Thanksgiving break with you guys. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. Like I said, Thanksgiving break starting up. Had a great slate of high school, college, and NFL football all this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to talk high school ball, everything you got to know about what happened this weekend in the FHSAA state semifinal matchups or regional semifinal matchups. Excuse me. We're not at the state semis just yet. Give it a couple more weeks. And we're going to talk a little bit about college ball, some of our local stars that have absolutely popped off on Saturday, and also a little bit of an in-depth analysis on Canes versus Wake Forest, as well as some recruiting updates because this was a big weekend for high school football recruiting. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. We're going to start with Palm Beach and the Treasure Coast. Max Preps has them, as you guys know by now, Max Preps has them grouped together. Makes my life even easier. It's one less tab of stuff I got to flip through. Also, because there's only one 772 team left standing. Without further ado, St. Andrews versus Chaminade Madonna. The Nod Boys came out on top 70-0. Once again, Chaminade, as a lot of people projected going into states, into the playoffs, is just paving their way for states. They're going to win every game dominantly, and they're just going to roll right through to the state finals. Not really much to talk about out of this one. A lot of younger guys for Chaminade were able and fortunate enough to get some varsity reps during Friday night's game against St. Andrews. St. Andrews ends their season ends a very promising season on a little bit of a lower note. However, like I said on Wednesday, being able to lose a couple key seniors, a couple guys to the high school transfer portal, and then come back, win their second district championship in 2 years, which is for the first time in a very long time that they've done that, and then win their first playoff game in over 50 years. The Scotties have nothing to flinch or cry at because what an incredible season St. Andrews had. So congratulations to the Scotties on an incredible season. Next game I want to talk about is Jupiter High versus Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips, one of the top teams in the Orlando area, coming out on top 35-0. Another very strong game for them as they're poised to have a big matchup on Friday. We're going to talk about that in a second. Dr. Phillips, like I said, coming out 35-0, defeating Jupiter, who, like St. Andrews, very, very good year. A lot of people did not expect Jupiter to come out and have the year that they did, especially losing a bunch of personnel that they lost in the offseason as well. So congratulations once again to Jupiter on an incredible season. Western versus Boca Raton. Western defeated Boca High 42-0. Very dominant game for Western. All around, all aspects of the game, Western had a very, very strong game. And then Boca, third time in a row I'm saying this, a team nobody thought was going to be in this position. Coming out, losing your star quarterback in the transfer portal, losing multiple key seniors or other guys in the portal. Everybody counted out Boca. Boca was slept on the entirety of this year. I do not believe at any point Boca got the respect that they deserved, and that is from myself included. I will admit Boca was slept on all year. Coming out, winning the second consecutive district championship in the Savakinas era at Boca High, going on winning a playoff game, 2 consecutive playoff wins, or consecutive years with playoff wins for Boca High. All in all, very, very good year. and Boca is going to be one of the top teams in our area with a very young core coming up next year. On a little bit of a positive note, we're going to get into the win columns. Cardinal Newman defeated the community school 42-0. Just once again, I've said it every week. Two rushing touchdown performance and 115-yard performance on the money for Jaylen Brown. Easiest play in the book. If there was a thing as degenerately gambling on high school football, don't do that. Do not bet on high school football. But if you did, Jaylen Brown anytime touchdowns. We're going to talk about him in a second. Cardinal Newman moves on to the regional finals, where they will face off against First Baptist Academy, who defeated Benjamin 34-20. Very, very, very strong game for FBA. Very, very good performance for Benjamin as well. Phoenix Danya, Preston Douglas, Adam Balloon Ali, they all did their thing. Unfortunately, Benjamin comes up just short. Union County defeating Pahokee 28-18. Rushing touchdown performance from Rayshawn Brown. That's the only stat I've seen from that game, so that's all I can give you guys on that one. Kings Academy falling to Cardinal Mooney 56-28. TKA did not go out without a fight. Javian Jones, 2 touchdowns. Joe Daly, 4 touchdowns on the day. 500 yards of total offense for Kings Academy. 500 yards of total offense for Joe Daly led Kings Academy. Joe did get banged up, missed a couple reps. I believe missed half of a quarter, so that number could have very easily been in the 550s, almost 600 yards of total offense if Joe played the entirety of the game. Kings Academy, another great year for a very underrated squad in our area. Congratulations to TKA on an incredible year. Congratulations. I'm going to give a special congratulations to guys like Joe Daly and Javian Jones, Jefferson Hagman, and all the seniors on that Kings Academy team. I have seen those kids grow up because for everybody that doesn't know, I'm a Kings Academy alum. I've seen those kids grow up since they're in 7th, 8th grade. So they're finally getting ready to graduate. I've hit UNC status officially, but being able to see those guys grow up, not into just great football players, but even better young men, truly a blessing to see. Congratulations to those TKA guys. Once again, we're going to talk some positive ball. Atlantic defeating Miramar 35-29. Teddy Hoffman, have a day, my boy. Another 2 touchdown performance from Teddy Hoffman. Bunch of big catches for Teddy, touchdowns, one of which he absolutely laid out. Dove like he was Superman. Very, very good performance for the FAU commit, Teddy Hoffman. Vero Beach, or we're going to get there. Hang on. West Boca versus Mitchell, one of the top teams in the Orlando area, taking on West Boca. West Boca winning 38-7. Another just shutout performance, almost shut down, performance for West Boca. Mason Mallory had himself a day. Everybody coming out of that game was raving about Mallory. Rightfully so. Mason Mallory is a dog. Defense did their thing as usual, and West Boca has now won 12 straight games since the beginning of this season. We're talking kickoff classic all the way to today, 12-game winning streak for West Boca. Finally, last game we're going to talk about in the Palm Beach area is Vero Beach versus Palm Beach Central. This was the game of the week in a lot of people's books, myself included. We sent our game of the week crew to West Boca to really just spread out the coverage. Palm Beach Central, Vero, what a game. I want to preface this. During pregame warm-ups and stuff, I'm watching both teams warm up, and I'm having a side conversation with Jaden Whiston, one of our collaborators, and Seabass, the Palm Beach Central team photographer. And they're like, all right, Christian, what do you think about this game? My hot take, this game's going into overtime, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't have been almost more on the money, ladies and gentlemen. Not breaking my arm, trying to pat myself on the back. The spread did not hit that I thought it would. but we're going to get there. Palm Beach Central versus Vero. Very, very good game. What a game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Both teams were pitching shutouts the entirety of the first half. It was 0-0 gridlocked until about 15 seconds in the game, where Champ Mons, wonderful Champ Mons, Vero Beach freshman quarterback, hits one of his freshman receivers on 4th and 3, a little bit over the 50, for a 45-yard touchdown strike. Beautiful ball by Champ Mons, and then his receiver was wide open, just ran right down the sideline, touchdown, Fighting Indians, 7-0 going into halftime. Palm Beach Central strikes right back. Chance Routson does his thing as usual. Central gets in the end zone. Extra point blocked. 7-6 now. Central then takes the lead a couple drives later as Chance Routson hits Kamari Williams on a little bit of a hitch and go. Bebo ran the hitch, and then from there took it straight down the sideline once again, 90-yard Palm Beach Central touchdown. So then Vero gets the ball back. They march, and Champ Mons takes it himself, 1-yard QB keeper. Central, it's getting to crunch time now. We're about a little bit over a minute and a half left in the game. 2-minute warning just went off. Chance Routson hits Nedrick Bolden for a 45-yard touchdown strike. Ran right to me. Beautiful, beautiful touchdown. And Nedrick, thank you for running straight to the camera. Really appreciate you, buddy. So now things are 20-14, ladies and gentlemen. It is 20-14 or 19-14. A lot of people were like, Palm Beach Central is going to go for 2. It's going to be 21-14. Vero needs a touchdown to win. Palm Beach Central takes a safer route, kicks the extra point, 20-14. On the very next kickoff, Vero Beach takes it 95 yards to the crib. Vero takes 21-20 lead over Palm Beach Central. About just over a minute left in the contest. Palm Beach Central drives. Stopped on 4th down. Vero Beach wins the upset. A lot of people had it as an upset. Like I said, bracket in 7A absolutely busted because the 1 seed in 7A Region 4 has been defeated, or Region 3 has been defeated. Vero Beach now moves on to play Dr. Phillips in Orlando. Like I said, what a game. It was, from start to finish, just an incredible game of football. Very, very good football was played. There is equally both sides. The doggies are behind a glass wall talking about how good of a game it was as well. But all in all, very, very good game by both Palm Beach Central and Vero Beach. Unfortunately, one team has to come out on top. One team has to fall. Palm Beach Central, their season is over. Once again, incredible season for Palm Beach Central, consecutive district champions, and then now Vero moves on to Dr. Phillips. Yep, there we have it. Vero's coming to our house to play at 5 Money and the Dr. Phillips Panthers. I don't know who 5 Money is, but he just got a subtle plug. Go follow 5 Money, I'm assuming, on Instagram. You're welcome, bro. I hope you just got a bunch of new followers on the gram. Taking things down to Broward Dade on Thursday, because we had a little bit of Thursday night football action. Unfortunately, there was not a complete snowstorm like the NFL's Thursday night football with Browns and Steelers. Great game, by the way. First game, Miami Edison defeated True North 47-39. Booker T. Washington shut out Cardinal Gibbons 47-0. And Miami Norland defeated Archbishop McCarthy 31-0. That was a game I was at. Another very good football game for Miami Norland, who's moving on to next week for a very bitter rivalry match. Taking things to Friday, West Broward defeated Piper 35-16. Immaculata LaSalle defeated Monsignor Pace 22-14. Miami Columbus defeated South Dade 28-7. Cypress Lake defeated Key West in a nail-biter 24-21. Miami Southridge defeated Monarch 20-14. Miami Northwestern defeated Lely 64-12. St. Thomas Aquinas defeated Blanche Ely 53-32. And then finally, American Heritage Plantation defeated Dillard 24-14 with Malachi Toney in as quarterback because unfortunately Diabell did suffer a little bit of an ankle injury. After speaking with Dia, he's good. He's straight. He's going to try to be coming back against Miami Norland this weekend. Very interesting game to watch. Obviously, we're going to have somebody there. It's going to be an absolute banger of a game. But in my opinion, it's pretty obvious what the game of this week is, and that is Friday evening, 7:30 p.m., Atlantic High taking on St. Thomas Aquinas. We're going to be talking about that game on Wednesday afternoon, 5:30 p.m. Do not miss that episode. We're going to be breaking down, as always, all the upcoming matchups for this week. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to be talking some college football, both things that happened on Saturday and things in the recruiting scene. So stay tuned for more because we are going to be right back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the second half of our show today. New Era Prep Show here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. I'm your host, Christian Proscia. If you just missed it, we talked everything high school football in the greater South Florida area. What happened, what you missed, what you should know. What you should know is that you got to follow New Era Prep and Bleacher Brothers on socials, Twitter, and Instagram for all live updates of high school and college football in the greater South Florida area. Sophomore starting safety for Dr. Phillips, 5 money on Instagram. Yep, we're going to check him out. Hope he gets a bunch of new followers. My new favorite defensive back at Dr. Phillips. We will have somebody at Dr. Phillips versus Vero Beach, July Sanchez. We'll make the drive out to Orlando. God bless your soul. I hate driving out to Orlando. I hate Orlando traffic, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so I want to shout out my new favorite player because yeah, five money all the way. I'm putting money on five money every time. We're going to talk some high school football recruiting before we get into the breakdown of Canes Wake Forest and some other college football news. One of the bigger headlines from early this week was Cardinal Newman, three-star running back Jaylen Brown announces his intention to decommit and reopen his commitment or recruiting process from Louisville University. Jabo, being one of the top running backs in Palm Beach and South Florida, say it all the time, he's averaging well over 100 yards a game on very minimal carries and at least two rushing touchdowns practically every night. Jaylen Brown, absolute dog. Wherever he goes, they're getting a stud out of him. According to Jabo, when we spoke yesterday, he's taking his time with the recruiting process. He's not trying to rush it for the December 6th signing day. He's trying to see where home truly is. So just wanted to preface that. It's not going to get rushed. Next one I want to talk about is Teddy Hoffman, three-star wide receiver out of Atlantic High. FAU commit took an official visit to NC State over the weekend, and Teddy Hoffman is still locked in with the Owls, ladies and gentlemen, per our previous conversation earlier this morning. Teddy is still an Owl. He is not flipping. Teddy, if you lie to me and you flip, just know that you are buying yourself some penne alla vodka. And you could buy it for me too, because you'll probably be getting a lot of NIL money. You're getting NIL money anyway, but either which way, buy me dinner. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. So yeah, Teddy enjoyed his trip to Raleigh for his visit to NC State, but is still locked in with the Owls. Another official visit, the Desir brothers out of Miami Norland, the twin edge rushers, 4 stars, Mandrell Desir and Daryl Desir, have took their official visit to Florida State following their commitment to the Seminoles earlier last week. Supposedly both of them had an amazing experience at Florida State. Picked a good weekend to go up because Florida State actually won a football game. All in all, great experience for the Desir brothers is what I got back from them. 3-star safety, speaking of Florida State, 3-star safety FSU commit Max Redmond took a visit to Mississippi State over the weekend. Enjoyed his trip. Still locked in with the Noles. Then we get into commitments. I'm going to talk about this one first. Demetrius Gathers, one of our top 2026s, especially in the class, or especially on the defensive side of the ball, edge rusher out of West Boca Raton, announces his commitment to the University of South Florida last night. As an FAU guy, we have a rivalry with USF. Congratulations, DG, on your commitment. All of us are extremely proud of you. Once a bull, always a bull, forever a bull was his statement to me. He's really excited for just to get up to Tampa. Had a great game day visit this weekend. Loved his trip to USF and decided to pledge his commitment. Holds a couple of other offers like from top programs like FAU, James Madison, and Liberty, just to name a couple. The big fish, we got a double-headed commitment in the class of 2025 that I do want to talk about. On last Tuesday, Seminole Ridge offensive lineman Daniel Pierre-Louis, interior offensive lineman out of Seminole Ridge, 3-star recruit, announces that he was flipping his commitment from Florida State to UF. He is now a Florida Gator, ladies and gentlemen. News broke right as I was walking into the prolific prep versus Miami Columbus game. Didn't really get a chance to break it down on Wednesday. Wanted to talk about it today. Really relevant news. And one of the top offensive linemen in our area is staying home, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, he's better off. He's better off at UF as a Canes guy. But the big commitment out of the recruiting scene today is four-star linebacker from Seminole Ridge as well, Daniel's teammate Ty Jackson announces he is flipping his commitment days before signing day from USC Southern California to the University of Florida. Ty Jackson is joining his teammate Daniel Pierre-Louis as a Florida Gator, ladies and gentlemen. So big recruiting news over the weekend. We'll talk about Ty a little bit more. One of the more physically imposing players in Palm Beach and in South Florida and in the country. Ty Jackson is pretty good at football. Had kind of an injury problem throughout the year, was kind of shut down for the overwhelming majority of the year. Didn't see a lot of Ty Jackson this year, but when he was on the field, he was making his presence known. He was keeping Seminole Ridge in a lot of ball games that he was playing. Being the number one player on the ESPN Top 63 list, a lot of hype around Ty Jackson. Really interested and excited to see what he's going to do at Florida. I think all these guys, Ty, Daniel, Demetrius, Mandrill, Daryl, Teddy, Jabo, and everybody in between, but especially the guys I talked about, they have very promising collegiate careers ahead of them. Last thing we're going to talk about today is Canes versus Wake Forest because I was on site. First off, happy senior day to all of the University of Miami seniors. 27 seniors in this class. A great group of guys led with a lot of senior leadership. Cam Ward, Xavier Restrepo, Jacoby George, Kiko Mauinoa, Mish Powell, just to name a couple guys. Andy Borregales, my favorite kicker ever. I've never seen Andy Borregales miss a kick. I really hope that statement doesn't come to bite me in the butt. What a day for the Miami Hurricanes. Started off a little bit slower, play-by-play. First touchdown pretty early in the game, first drive of the afternoon. Jacoby George from Cam Ward, 13-yard touchdown reception. Go Canes. Wake Forest immediately strikes back on their first offensive drive, and I'm talking about this one because Hank Bachmeyer hits Benjamin High alum Micah Mays for a 36-yard touchdown pass. One reception, one touchdown, 36 yards on the day for Micah Mays. Ended as as one of Benjamin's highest graded receivers ever, but also as Wake Forest's leading receiver on the afternoon. Another Andy Borregales field goal right before the end of the first quarter. Mish Powell then gets Miami back in the end zone on a 76-yard pick six. And then immediately after we had a kick six, Damon Claiborne, 100-yard kick six. So we went pick six to kick six, ladies and gentlemen. That part was not fun. I did not appreciate the 15 seconds between the Mish touchdown and the Claiborne kick six. Right before halftime, Andy Borregales, 25-yard field goal, 22-14 halftime score. That would remain the score for the entirety of the third quarter. But then Miami went on an absolute run, 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Touchdown run, Cam Ward, 1-yard QB keeper. Then Jordan Lyle was doing his thing on an 18-yard touchdown rush. True freshman out of St. Thomas Aquinas. End of the day, multiple carries, 415 yards, a 55-yarder, longest rush of the day, and one touchdown. And then finally, Jacoby George gets back in the end zone with another 15-yard touchdown reception. Very dominant win for Miami, especially in the fourth quarter. Miami's defense, big step up from what we've seen recently in recent memory from the Canes defense. Suffocating defense is the best way to describe it. Being able to come off of that loss from Georgia Tech, have the entire bye week to recalibrate, restructure, recommunicate what works, what doesn't. Miami's defense, especially the front seven, was just absolutely lights out the entirety of the game. Um, Ruben Bain, Simeon Barrow, Kiko Maui-Noa, Tyler Barron, and everybody in between. Um, yeah, just great performance from the front seven. Secondary, obviously, Mish Powell with the pick six, OJ Frederique with the pass with another zero completions, 4 targets, zero completions. I don't know why people are still throwing on this kid. Shutting down everybody's favorite wide receivers every given Saturday. Miami is now 10-1 on the year. They are facing off against Syracuse this week to decide their fate. Will they make the ACC title game? SMU just clinched one spot. It is between Miami and Clemson officially for who is getting the second spot. If you don't remember, conference champions get an automatic bid to the 12-team playoff. If Miami loses to Syracuse, we can kiss the 12-team goodbye. If we lose to SMU in the 12-team there or in the ACC title game, there is a stronger chance that Miami could possibly sneak in on a lower seed. Nothing confirmed yet, but once again, just win. Just win out. We got 2 games, win them, go to the 12, enjoy a presumable first round bye. That is one less game of football we have to play, ladies and gentlemen, and that is huge. Taking things around the greater South Florida area as far as alumni that really made a big stand over the past couple days. Um, Obviously, we spoke about Micah Mays, 1 catch, 36 yards, 1 touchdown. A couple other guys I want to talk about is out of FSU, Amari Williams, tight end, edge rusher, 2 catches, 11 yards, and a touchdown on the day for second career touchdown for Amari. Jake Weinberg, kicker out of Heritage Delray, backup kicker here at Florida State. Ryan Fitzgerald's backup. Jake Weinberg, 23-yard field goal boot. First collegiate points for Mr. Jake Weinberg, 2-time Lou Groza Award high school winner. And then UMass versus Georgia. This is a game where it's, how is this game on the schedule? Team that is poised possibly for a national championship run versus a team that is historically struggled, to say the least. Georgia versus UMass. I just want to say, once again, that is some NCAA 25 online playing against like a third grader. That's the matchup that you get, and the third graders using Georgia. But I want to talk about this game because quarterback from UMass, Ahmad Haston, used more in Wildcat schemes. 3 rushes, 50 yards on the day versus Georgia. But then also Georgia running back Chauncey Bowens from Benjamin, 5 carries, 31 yards against UMass. And then finally, last game I want to talk about is Louisville versus Pitt, where Boca High alumni Ashton Gelati, 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs on the day, was named as the East-West Shrine Bowl's Defensive Breakout Player of the Week. Wanted to talk about him a little bit. Gelati being one of the best edge rushers going into this 2025 NFL Draft and Scouting Combine. I expect him to be picked relatively high in this upcoming draft. So that's all I wanted to talk about local high school football, local college football recruiting, and then some local alumni making some waves over the past couple weeks, or over this weekend. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to end this stream a little bit earlier. We do have a family dinner. I gotta attend. I am not wearing this glorious Florida Panthers Stanley Cup champions hoodie. I have to dress a little bit nicer. I have to take a shower, so I'm going to end the stream a little bit earlier. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to this episode of the New Era Prep Show. We're going to come back on Wednesday afternoon, normal 5:30 to 6:30 run time. We're going to try to get somebody onto the show. Don't know who yet. Maybe Five Money wants to come on the show. Let him know what can we expect out of Dr. Phillips. In all seriousness, I appreciate everybody once again for tuning into tonight's episode. Hope everybody has a great night and a great beginning to their Thanksgiving break. I will see you guys Wednesday. Have a good one.